Happy Monday. Here we go. It's another week. Let's see if we can get it started with some good healing, quiet time, some meditation, just stillness. I feel like we don't do enough of that. I get that message all the time. I'm just as guilty as anyone. So whoever, when you jump in here, tell me who you are. We'll have a little chat for a few minutes. We're not going to stay on for a long time. I'm going to start cutting this back to just gathering so that we can do some healing work together. So that's what it's all about to me. We're just going to, hi, Lisa Kessler, nice to see you. So as we start to gather, we're going to have a quick, maybe 20-30 minutes. We will go into healing. I've been trying to, I'm waiting for the message to come through. When I start to smile, I start to feel angelic energy, and I'm like, it feels good, so it makes me smile. I love that they always show up as soon as I sit down. It's like my best friends coming in to see me. Hello. So being patient and allowing for the energy to begin to flow. We think that this has to be so much work. You know, I get that all the time from people. And me too. I've been through my roller coaster ride of, man, planet Earth seems so hard. You know, we talk about that all the time. It seems so difficult all the time. We've got all these decisions to make, and we got to make sure that, you know, everybody gets food and everybody gets taken care of, and our bills get paid and so much. And we feel like life is so difficult. And if you look at the news, it's even worse because people are going through such horrible things. So the message that I keep getting is, when the real truth lies in that stillness. It lies in your quiet time when you pull it back. Just be you for a little while. Allow yourself to believe that it is not what it appears to be. The world appears to be a pretty horrific place when you spend all of your time in that fear-based programming. So we are working on refocusing and changing our lens. We have two lenses. In Anchorlight, I talked about that, about the pirate patch. I think I had that. I'm going to have to get that book out and do an audio book so I remember what's in there. But I remember talking about the pirate patch. Pirates didn't necessarily wear a patch because they lost an eye or they had some kind of injury to their eye. They wore a patch because when they were above, out in the sunlight trying to go to battle, it was bright, and their eyes were, you know, adjusted to that bright light. They would have to go below deck to get ammunition, whatever they had to get, and they'd go down into that darkness down there. And if they were still adjusted to that bright light, they couldn't see anything when they got down to the bottom. They go down there, and about the time their eyes get adjusted to being in the darkness, they're trying to do some work, they have to go back up. They have to go up and down, into the bright light, down into the darkness, up into the light, down into the dark, very, very quickly. So they found that the quickest way to be able to do that was to wear an eye patch, so that when they were out in the sun, they had this eye covered all the time, or whichever one. And then when they went downstairs, they'd flip that patch to the other side, and then they could see in the darkness. This eye was already adjusted to, under the patch, it was adjusted to the dark. It was survival. It allowed them to stay alive, to be able to see their enemy, to be able to see, to get to what they needed in order to have a battle. They used an eye patch. We all have that too. We all have a proverbial, is that the right word? We have an eye patch too. We have this way of, or we need to a certain degree, we need to be prepared. We come into the world and we're pretty much just love, right? But we feel this need because the ego, we come into a world that's pretty harsh and painful. Hi, Melanie. We take on that eye patch, again, just like the pirate, where we have one eye that we seem to be able to see the love around us, at least for most, and then the other eye is the one that's prepared for darkness. So you got light and dark all the time. You're always prepared for it. You can flip that patch over, and if everything's getting kind of scary, you kind of fall into that darkness, right? We're coming to a time, a really powerful time of healing for all of us, and it doesn't require fear at all. We have been trained to be afraid from, our ancestors, our past lives, wherever. In order for the human to survive planet Earth, there had to be a certain amount of respect what we turned into fear. Fear is sometimes irrational. Fear is quite often irrational. Fear does not necessarily ever help us. It will make us freeze. It will make us run away. It has those basic elements of, I gotta save this human, so just run as fast as you can, or freeze and fall on the ground like the possum, play dead, whatever it's got going. But we're coming into an energy where we're beginning to realize that fear is not necessarily a useful tool. You can use the word, find a different word, common sense, caution, being more careful, knowing that yes, there are, ways that we can get hurt in the world, but when we fall into absolute fear, we fall out of any kind of, we go so far away from love. They're absolute opposites. So when we go into that place of fear, we can be really silly. We do things, we hurt one another, we go into battles, we kill one another. Fear has been the one thing that has really made just a wreck of the world, of family units, of, I mean, you think back even on bigger terms like our Civil War, where brothers were fighting against brothers. People got so afraid. We get so afraid that we're going to lose our toys. We get so afraid that somebody might hurt us or hurt our family. We're so afraid of so many things, and we can focus on that. I was talking with my kids. I think that's why I'm so into this right now. I took two of my two youngest out for a ride last night, and it seemed like all of our conversations would come back to, I'm afraid of this or I'm afraid of that. And I was trying to help them to understand that there's a difference between being cautious and careful and understanding that there might be something that could hurt you. You have to use that discernment. There has to be a certain amount of discernment in your decision making, because of course, if you just jump off of a tall building, or you jump off of a bridge and you don't know how deep the water is or how far down it is, or you have to have that discernment, that intelligent common sense of making clear decisions. But they don't have to come out of a place of absolute fear. Good morning, Michael. I'm one of those, I've been through a lot of trauma from the time I was young. And so, and I definitely came out of my first marriage with a hefty case of PTSD, and little things like certain smells or certain sounds, or I would think I would hear his voice, or different things would trigger me. That fear response was very strong. And my fear response was always, I gotta run or I gotta freeze. I'm not really a fighter, but I often would just, gotta go, I gotta go. There was always that fear response in me. I'm leaving, I gotta get out of here. And I feel like a lot of people, once you have that fear response in you, and it can be trained in at a very young age, babies, very young people, we feel like it's just our right-hand guy. Like we've gone through these traumas, and I walk around with, now I've got a title. Somebody back after I got out of that marriage told me, well, PTSD is alive and well in your home. And I had never even considered that could cause PTSD. I knew I was having a real struggle. I knew I was having a lot of anxiety. I didn't give it a title. But once I got that title, and I think this applies to everything, we love titles as human beings. We can take that title and run with it. It becomes a part of us. We can say, well, I've got this, so I can't do that. I've got this, I can't go out into the world because I've got PTSD, and if anybody looks at me funny or if I hear a loud noise, I'm going to scatter, I'm going to run under the carpet again. We can live under that title, that fear-based title, or we can say, all right, enough of that. This is controlling my life. I choose to heal from the past traumas. I choose to work with the little girl inside of me that needs me to pay attention to what she's trying to tell me. She is still lost in that place of fear, and she needs someone to come in and take her by the hand, be her grown-up, be the one that loves her unconditionally, and take her by the hand and pull her out of that little blanket tent, whatever you want to, wherever you're hiding, pull back out and say, come on, sit on my lap for a while. My little girl still experiences trauma sometimes, not near as much as the responses grow smaller and smaller. I refuse to live under a title of PTSD. I refuse to live under a title of anxiety or even depression. Yes, I get down sometimes. I'm not giving it a title. I'm not going to feed it. I think that when we look for titles, we begin to feed it. They're like little monsters. And once we give it a name, it becomes ours. We take ownership. So I don't know who's going to watch this now or later on, but I feel like that's a really important thing is we can say you got a certain acre of pain and you run to Google. You're like, I'm going to Google this, YouTube it, whatever I got to do. I'm going to find out what this pain is. Or you get in there and you'll find 100 things, all these horrible things. Oh my gosh, it could be this and it could be that. And you begin to take the energy. See, that's really important, is everything. These titles that we claim as our own, they all hold energy. And most of that energy is fear-based. You want to take a title, take the title of divine. Take the title of queen, king. Take the title of master. Take the title of whatever you like that makes you go, whoa, that makes me feel good. Take those titles. If someone tries to throw a title at you, the big scary title, don't claim it. Don't claim ownership over it. It doesn't have to have a hold on your life. You can heal from anything, but you have more control over that than you think. And when you take that title, if somebody throws something at you and you go, okay, well, this is it. I'm going to take this title. And you have that right. Let's say there's no judgment in taking a title. Sometimes people will take that as their exit point or their experience. They want that title. Their soul says, yeah, I'm going to accept this title. I'm going to go through this suffering for whatever reason to grow and expand. My point is that there's a more in this energy that we're in right now. It is important to remember your own power, to not give it away to the titles, to the fear. Don't feed the fear. We have a horrible time with bears where I am. People let them get a hold of food, food, and they get more and more and more ornery. I watch them. They just get into more and more and more trouble. And it is exactly the same with fear. When we feed fear, it causes more. It just keeps on getting bigger. It can be a little tiny thing that if we feed it, it takes over our entire existence. And life is short. It really is. It's over in the blink of an eye. So our higher purpose is your soul just wants you to have fun. Your soul wants you to enjoy life. Your soul doesn't want you to sit around being afraid of what might happen tomorrow or in the next 10 minutes or 10 years for sure. Oh, do you got a 10-year plan? No, I don't even have a 10-minute plan. I got no idea what I'm going to do in the future. That's actually true. I got no idea. I might decide to do this. I have no idea when I wake up in the morning typically. I don't know what I'm doing today. Somebody will say, what are you doing? I don't got any idea. I got a basic layout. There's a little bit of a blueprint there. But basically, I don't really know what I'm going to do. And I don't even want to try. And I can't seem to. The more we're going into this new energy, the less I can figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. And I love it. At first, it was a little bit weird. And I know you guys are going through this too. Doesn't it feel a little bit strange to not be able to plan? To realize that you don't have to? Like, you mean I don't got to figure out? That I don't have to, all I got to do is be happy? I don't got to figure out how I'm going to take care of myself in 20 years. I don't got to figure out anything that's like, I just can sit here now. And that's where I find my joy. And in that space of now, that part of you that still lives in so much fear and trepidation, that part of you that just wants your attention, she joins you in that space of now. She says, oh, let's go play. Let's just go have fun. Let's just go enjoy ourselves. I've been looking back over the past 6 months as I've been moving more and more into joy and trying to pull away. And it's not been easy. It's not been easy. I've been sick a lot. I know you guys have been facing a lot of heavy stuff too. There's been a lot of purging of negative energy over the past 6 to 8 months, something like that. And for the last 50 years, but mostly, mostly, there's been a lot. I know it's been rough. 2020 was very difficult. 2021, 2022 came in and it's like, oh gosh, here we go again. Another roller coaster ride. We are coming to the other side. The stuff that began in 2020 with all the virus and all this fear that came in was this purging of a huge amount of fear energy. And it's taken time to get us to that place where we're coming out the other side. And I hope you guys can feel that. We are coming out the other side. If you're not fully experiencing that freedom of coming out the other side, just hang in there. Just be in stillness. I started in that in the beginning of this. Hang in there and be in stillness. Allow yourself. Don't keep putting up your hands. Mostly, we're all, every one of us, surrounded by a beautiful team. We have angels, we have guides, we have ancestors, we have so much energy, beautiful energy around us all the time. And even though we've got it around us all the time, we've been trained to pretend it's not there. Isn't that funny? People will tell you, you're just pretending, that's not real. Little kids, they're playing, talking to the angels and stuff, and they're like, yeah, they're just pretending they've got an angel. No, they're not pretending. They know. Little children know that all of this is real. And it's our job to come back to it. Bring our little children from inside out and say, oh, guess what? I'm having a hard time. Oh, I can call. I'll be in the car. I am in the car often with a man who drives like a crazy man. Like, he really is a kind of a crazy driver sometimes. And I'll tell you what, every time I get in the car, before I get in the car, when I'm thinking about getting in the car, I start calling in Archangel Michael. And I am not ashamed to admit that. I'm like, all right, Archangel Michael, we're going on a road trip. I need you to wrap your energy around this car, around every car that we come anywhere near. I need you to wrap it around my children. If I go away from them, I need you to wrap it around every person that's in this car. And those are the things, Carol. It is coming back to that little child who knows that she or he is completely surrounded by love and protection at all times. Like the Stay Puft guy. Like, who's the Charmin? Where you see all those Charmin commercials where they take all the Charmin and they put it in their clothes and everywhere else, and then they go out and do some. This little child's out riding a skateboard or whatever, and they know they're safe because they've got Charmin all around them. You are safe. You have angels all around you. They can't help you. See, the only shortfall there is they can't help you until you ask for it. Because if you want to have a difficult experience, if you choose to try it, you have free will and free choice. It's a silly game we play. You can be in painful experiences, scary experiences. You can have all of those experiences if you'd like to. Because the truth is, there's no judgment on the other side. They don't go, oh gosh, don't do that. They just go, oh, well, there she goes. She's going to have quite an adventure with that one, isn't she? They don't judge them. But they also are standing there going, if you would like us to help you with that, we would love to. And we are right here. We are right here waiting all the time. We have been here since you stepped in, waiting for you to call us. So my reminder today is, if you're falling into fear, if you've been given those scary titles of PTSD or diseases, depression, all of those things, if you're still carrying all that heavy weight around with you, and you have as we started with the pirate patch is over here on this eye, and it's blocking out the love, and all you're seeing is a fear. Take that patch and pop it over there. Don't let the fear in. Don't feed the fear. Cover up the fear. Every time it starts to come in, we've been doing this for a week now, probably longer. I'm waiting for Melanie to tell me. I think Melanie's the one that usually reminds me. I have one word that I repeat 3 times. Every time that fear comes in and you start to feel that catch in your chest and you're like, oh, here it comes. You go, big breath, release, release, release. I am the power here. I am in control. I don't have to let that take over my life. I might not enjoy it. It might still, some things might come in. They might really shake me up a little bit. It might make life a little more difficult, but I don't have to let it control my life. And I just continue to breathe through it. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. You know, that stillness is actually where we come back into our power. We think we got to be doing, and the truth is, I posted something a little while ago on it's like, do you ever, lately, more than ever, I'm like, I get up in the morning, I think, I'm laying there in my bed, I'm thinking I could do all these things today. And then somehow I just get off in my own little world. I sit down to meditate, and pretty soon, 2 hours later, I'm still sitting there. I haven't done anything. And I'm like, where did the 2 hours go? And what have I been doing? I was giving myself the gift of stillness. I was being still. If I want to take a nap these days, if I'm exhausted, I'll take a nap. I'll tell you what, I took a 2-hour nap yesterday, and while I was taking, because I've been out all weekend and I was really exhausted. Seriously, I never say, oh, I won't say never. I've been doing it more lately. I rarely will sleep more than 30 minutes during the day. I just laid down thinking 20 minutes will probably do it. I'll wake up refreshed. That's what I usually do. 2 hours later, I finally pulled myself out of it. But let me tell you, in those 2 hours, I had some of the most vivid, crazy, wild release dreams that I have ever had, more so than I usually have at nighttime. So when we're sleeping, we are working. It's okay if you're exhausted. You don't have to physically do all the time. You may rest. You need to rest. Your angels are asking me to remind you to please rest whenever you can. If you can't get those 8 hours at night, then find the time to lay back. When you're exhausted, don't keep chugging down the triple espresso like I do. Do the take some time. Be still. When you're resting, if you haven't had time to meditate and you're just like, oh, I'm never going to find time to do that, but I'm really exhausted. I don't have time to do both a nap and meditate. What am I going to do? What should I do? What'll make me feel better? You know what I do? I put in my earbuds with the best intention of meditating, and I sleep straight through it. And I still truly believe that my subconscious is getting what it needs. Sometimes I'm out taking a walk with my earbuds in. I'll walk and meditate. I'll wash dishes and meditate. I'm out talking to myself in the car while I got to go someplace. I'll meditate while I'm in the car. I'll do just pull yourself back into center. Say, I am that I am that I am. I have more power than I ever believed possible. And I am not going to let those titles and those fears take over any more of my life. I don't have to please anyone. I don't have to try to fit into any crazy societal rules. I don't have to be, well, I do have to be, but I don't have to be something. I don't have to be anything that anyone thinks that I have to be. I can be just be. Just be for a few minutes. The rest of it is really illusional. This is the game you've chosen to play. It's a cool game you're playing. You continue to create. The more intentionally you create your life, the more beautiful it gets. You'll go out into wherever you live, into the nature, and you'll go, wow, man, there's no camera that could ever catch the beauty of what I'm looking at. So I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to take it all in as long as I possibly can. So it is absolutely just burned into my memory. So anytime I want to go back to that place, I'll create it in my mind and I'll allow myself to go into that meditative place and I'll just be there again. Isn't that beautiful? So let's do that for a few minutes. I have been 2 weeks. Last weekend, I got to enjoy the mountains with Carol. And then this past weekend, Jim and I went back to a lot of the same places because I'm so drawn. Once I start feeling drawn to places, I'm like a homing pigeon. I just keep going back until I get whatever it is I need from it. So I'm doing that, playing that game right now, letting myself be silently drawn. A few years ago, I had one of my most vivid dreams. I was in a place, it was a bridge that I crossed over all the time when I was down in Franklin, North Carolina on my way to the Smoky Mountains. It was a place where Caleb and Caroline and Jackson and Abby, at the time she called herself Abby, we all would go there sometimes, a little picnic area, and there's this beautiful water. I posted a picture of it yesterday. Beautiful water. It's very heavenly there. This cutest little town called Dillsboro. It has all these cute little shops. It is just such a cute little place. And on that bridge in my dream, I got up on the railing of the bridge and I was standing with my back to the water facing the road. And all of a sudden I just spread my arms out and I fell freely backwards. And that was the end of my dream. It was like there was something in that dream trying to tell me everything you've ever wanted is there beneath you. Now you have two choices. You can go there towards all that, the cars that are running and all the chaos, or you can just let go, release, and fall into your dreams. I believe, even though I was clumsy about it, I believe I've done that. And yesterday, we went back to that. I've crossed over this bridge a few times since I got back to this area. I think, don't know if Carol and I went to that bridge or not. We might have come close to it. But we tried to leave that area yesterday without going over that bridge. And we got turned around in a big circle and ended up right back at it. And I said, you know what? We're just going to have to go see that bridge because apparently I'm supposed to be there. And here's what I get. All weekend, once, I just really, for a long time, but this weekend, I kept having these little signs and symbols and synchronicities all around me. I felt like I was being led back to places that I needed to revisit. I felt like I was picking up pieces of my treasures that were leading me in a certain direction. Like on a map, I was going and it was saying, okay, go to that, X marks the spot, and I would go and I would spend time there. And then I was listening again and it would send me someplace else. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're in an energy where there's no veil between us anymore. Our guides, loved ones, your higher self, all of this energy that's around you is trying so hard to wake you up so that you notice things. So that you notice this whole, if you want to call it the matrix, you notice the cracks, or you notice that there is something that's trying to lead you to a certain place. You may have been to something 1,000,000 times. You'll go back now and you'll see something that you've never seen before. And I would love for you to give it a try this week. Listen to your body. Go get quiet. Where does it want you to go? And when you get there, pay attention to small details. I'll post pictures if you want me to. We were in a little town which has so much synchronicity. Carol knows it now too. Sylva, North Carolina. I love the energy. As soon as I say it, my energy just clumps in my throat. I love that town. And I was walking up and down in front of the old stores. There's such cute little stores there. And I stopped in front of one of them and I looked down and I was like, oh my gosh, there's an ironworks plate on the front of the building that said Owensboro, Kentucky. And I've been, you have to understand that that is the town where I met Steve. Okay, we're in North Carolina. Owensboro is a ways off. Never expected to see it. I saw it twice and I took pictures. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this trying to tell me? I've never seen it. I've walked up and down those roads or that walkway a whole lot of times and I never noticed it before. The next morning we were back walking that road and we looked down and we saw more iron plates that I've never seen before. And it said Evansville, Indiana, which is also, see, when the first time I went there, that's where Steve was working when I met him. He was working at Deaconess Hospital. And so one of our first dates, I think the first time I ever got together with him, one of our first dates was in Evansville, Indiana. And I would go back there all the time. The Children's Museum, there's a zoo. I spent a lot of time there. It was one of my favorite little cities. I want you guys to start to pay attention. I want you to look around you. What are they trying to show you? There's other things that I could talk about this town forever. I've had so many synchronicities in this town. What is it bringing me to? And the other thing to pay attention to is your energy. Where does it feel good and why does it feel so good? And why does it not feel good someplace else? And start to let yourself be silently led. Carol, do you remember in that shop downstairs where she had all the metaphysical stuff and you and I were silently led around? And I stopped in my tracks and I went, oh, there's energy. What is it trying to tell me here? And I'm like, the energy is behind me. I'm just going to stand there. I don't know where Carol is. I'm just going to stay here for a few minutes. And then I knew she was behind me. I could sense it. And I turn around and she's standing right behind me and she's got that same look on her face like, oh, wait, there's energy. And I went, yay, she's feeling it. And it was a certain doll. Well, that space is loaded. It's an antique shop too, and it was loaded full of energy. It was the fact that you could feel it. It was that palpable. These energies are so, if you're paying attention, that is your treasure map in your heart. You follow the energy What is it trying to tell you? Where do you feel good? Where do you feel joy? What lights you up? And that includes, what are you doing? What do you feel like you're supposed to be doing? You sit around going, what am I doing with my life? What am I supposed to be doing? What feels good? The doll in the cradle. I visited her again 2 days ago, Carol. Or was it yesterday? No, the day before yesterday. The doll is beautiful and at peace now. But she was definitely had some weird energy when we were there. We've cleared her. The point is that we are advanced beings. We are energy before we are physical. Letting them feed the message through. We're energy before we're physical. And we have been noticing how energy moves. We've been feeling it move. I can work with someone and feel the energy in their body and where it needs to move and where it's stuck. I've been doing that for a long time. But I know for me, and I believe for all of us, that ability to hook in, to latch into someone else's energy is becoming more and more adept. We are becoming, our connection is strengthening. It's another word that Steve, at his memorial service, connection was the only word I could say. We are coming in closer to one another. We are sensing one another's energies. We are helping one another to heal. We are helping one another to grow. We are, if we aren't actually physically, like we often hear people, I want to teach, I want to teach. I love to teach. But I'll tell you what, it's not always our words that are teaching. It's not always what we say that helps other people. It is the energy that's doing the work. Carol was more sensitive to the energies because we were together, and that's the truth. I was more sensitive to the energies because we were together, because we all magnify, because we are connected. That half of 1% in the whole world who is here to do this kind of energy work is, we are all connected energetically to one another. We are actually all to everyone. We are all source. Every human that we see on the planet, everyone that we interact with, we all have a connection. We're all from the same tree. But those who are here to do energy work are feeling the energetic connections more now than ever. So my thing is today, in fear, you won't see it. You won't feel it. When you're stuck in fear, you shut down to your true self. You don't feel, you can't sense those energies around you. You can't hear your own heart sing. And your heart is singing loudly. And your heart is trying to guide you to where you need to be, what you need to be doing, where push you to take some rest. It's trying to help you with your health conditions and your fears, all those things. Your inner self, your innate, is there to guide you through all of this transitional phase that we're in. And in order to fully hear, and in order to fully feel, to really get those messages that your innate is trying to give to you so strongly, you cannot be in the fear mode. You have to move into love. And when you move into love, it just becomes who you are. You take on a new garment. So let's do that. I said I wasn't going to be here long today, but I feel like it took me a while to get to that thing. If you guys are not, if you are looking to really tune into the energies around you, to learn how to tune into those energies, look me up. We got one amazing class going. Oh gosh, I love these girls that join me on Tuesday nights. And I've loved all the classes we've ever done with this. It's definitely evolving now. We are evolving. Everything that we're doing is evolving. And it has taken on a life of its own. And I love to help people. I love to help people to get to that. So please let me know if you're interested. I'll line up another class. I'll line up 10 more classes, however many it takes. In the meantime, let's take 10 minutes. Can you give up 10 minutes? Doesn't cost anything. It's just a few minutes of your time with me. Am I talking to you? Of course, Melanie, I'm talking to you. Always talking to you. I miss you. All you people say, I need you. I miss doing one-on-ones with people and classes with some of you. So please, come join me. I'll post the website again. Doesn't have to be a money thing. Please don't ever let money stop you. So I exchange energy, and I'm happy with that. Take a big breath for a second. The energy in this space with this group of people who are here right now and the ones that will come in later, it's all this beautiful love energy. I hope you can feel that. Take a big breath. Good, Melanie. Good, good, good. Breathe up your spine. I want you to see yourself now. I'm letting them take me wherever they want to take me. So we are relaxing. Please let your arms fall to your sides. Relax that space between your eyes. Where do your guides and angels want you to go today? Where are those synchronicities, those signs that they have? Beautiful signs to show you, to help you, to guide you to those places, to those, they only really have one goal. They want to bring you to a place of peace, of love, of joy. That's it. There's no big agenda. They truly just want you to find love. So as you feel that earth energy now, stand on the bridge with me. See the bridge however you'd like to see it. I went there this weekend. I didn't stand on the bridge. Wasn't real life, that bridge wouldn't have been a good place to be with all that traffic. So we're going to envision a bridge that has no traffic right now. And down below the water is beautiful and clear. And it's 4 or 5 feet deep. We're gonna fall backwards gently. We can't get hurt. There's no rocks. It's all smooth and beautiful and clear. So I want you to come up and I want you to stand on the side of the bridge. And when you do, with bare feet, you can feel it's a stone bridge. And those stones, they feel so cool. They're millions of years old. They feel beautiful on your feet. And take a big breath. It's so nice. There's a breeze blowing. It's about 74 degrees, perfect. Just a gentle breeze touches your hair. And as it does, it touches the leaves on the trees, and the trees start to talk to us. Can you hear that? I hear some birds singing beautiful songs. And this beautiful smell of honeysuckle comes wafting over in our direction. And it smells delicious, so sweet. Just close your eyes. You are so strong standing here. You have a choice to make. All of us do this morning. As we're standing here on the bridge, and there's a very trusting feeling amongst us. We're all holding hands for a moment. I want you to feel energy in your hand. And put your hand in the person beside you. Feel their energy. And as our hands connect together, standing here on the side of this bridge, this energy goes. You can feel it moving right in the centers of your hands. You can feel those energy centers, and they are tingling, maybe even feel a little hot right now. Imagine your hands, now just lay them on your laps, palms up. Your imagination is so strong. See yourself standing there. Everyone that's here is so filled with love energy. So what you're feeling is this beautiful connection. Perfectly grounded on the stones under your feet. And this connection, almost like electricity, going from one hand to the next hand, to the next hand, to the next hand. Imagine that feeling. Now take a big breath. The energy is just starting to lift, so you can feel it right there. It's come up your legs and into the root chakra and up into the second. And I'm feeling a lot of energy right in that core, the solar plexus area. Take a big breath. Stand up straight. Just push your back up straight and let that energy fill the center of you. Beautiful source energy. You can imagine that there is sun shining down on your head right now. And as it's shining down on your head, that is all there is. That's creation. That's God energy. That's source energy, whatever you'd like to call it. This beautiful energy of perfection. And it is who you are. You are a part of it. As it comes down through your crown, flushes down all around you. And turn your face up to that warmth, collecting as much as you can. It's like a vitamin D bath. Just let it shine down. All the way down into that third eye. So we have earth energy coming up through our feet, and we have source coming down, flushing down all negativity, anything that you're ready to release. You can say release, release, release as many times as you need to, letting go of all negativity, releasing all of that stagnant energy, the old soul contracts, old karma, all that stuff. Let's get rid of it. It's just icky. We don't want it holding us back anymore. So letting it all go. And when that energy comes right to the center, right into your core, it begins to fill you up like a big sunshine. And the more filled up you get, the more you feel your truth. That is not a stranger up there sending energy down. That is you. Feel it coming down in your higher self. Your guides, your loved ones, all of them sending through this beautiful energy, filling you right up. Then I want you to take your hands and I want you to spread your arms out like this. All of us have plenty of space. Spread your arms out wide to your sides like you're going to fly. And when you're ready, I want you to see yourself just fall backwards, knowing that the angels are going to guide you right down safely. You just take a step backwards and fall into that cool water. And when you hit, it's so perfect, isn't it? The water feels delicious. Oh, it feels so nice. Nice and cool and beautiful, and you are just being cleansed all over, inside and out, clearing away all negativity, letting go of anything that no longer serves you. It's just floating away in the water. You can just watch it go. Bye-bye. I'm all done with you. Let it go. You float on the surface of the water gently. It's got a gentle, like a river, there's a gentle action as it's pulling us. So we're laying there in the water, just like you're an inner tube yourself. You're floating on down, around the rocks, around anything that might slow you down. You're just going faster and faster on down the river. Where are you going to go? Doesn't matter. Just enjoy it. It's like the most amazing ride. And when you trust, it will always bring you to the perfect resting place. So just relaxing without paddling. Just trust. You are safe. If you look around, you can see us all there with you. You might laugh a little bit. You might hear them laughing and giggling. It's so much fun, like a giant water slide. And down we go, down, down, nice and gentle. Just lay back, try to relax. And take a big breath. Beautiful healing energy coming in right now. The more you need it, just take as much as you need. Keep breathing it in. Sit there and breathe and float. You can send it to any place you'd like to send it. Make sure you take care of you first. Any place in your body that you feel any kind of fear or disease, any lower vibrational energies, washing away anything, any earthbound spirits, any attachments, any old curses, anything. Just washing away as you go. You are so squeaky clean by the time you're starting to come down towards the bottom of this river. There is a small lake it's leading to, and it is glassy and reflective. You look ahead of you and there's a red cabin. It's bright red and you can see it reflecting off the water, and the leaves of the trees and the mountains in the back behind it, and they are making this beautiful reflection. You don't even know what's real because the reflection is so perfect. And you are coming right down to it. It just kind of drops you with a little waterfall. It drops you right into that lake. How beautiful. Now you may do whatever you'd like. You can splash around. You can climb up out of the water if you'd like. You can go visit that red cabin. There may be somebody there for you. They want to give you a hug while they got the chance. Who's been waiting to see you? Waiting for you to notice that they're still around. Who is that? It may even be a perfect version of you. Your higher self may be waiting there. It might be an angel. It might be a big star who's fast. Who would you like to see? So as you come up towards the shore, they have a big warm towel. And you step out and they wrap you right up. And as they're wrapping you up in that warm towel, they're wrapping you up in a big hug. We are right here. We're always right here in your imagination. We never leave you. You can come find us anytime. Enjoy that bear hug. You're so welcome, Tammy. Enjoy that feeling of security, that feeling of home. Just for a moment, even if you can't imagine who's there, you are home for just a moment. And there is nothing but love. You might smell something good cooking. I smell my grandmother's chocolate chip cookies all of a sudden. That was home. We are so close. We are so close. That's the biggest message they're giving, is that I know at times it feels so scary and so painful. We have come through so much for so long, and we have this mistaken idea that it has to continue to be the same way as it's always been, and they're saying, no, that's not true. You are so close to an absolute shift, a brand new earth, brand new humans walking the earth, and you are a part of this. You are blessed. You are a blessing to you all for being here, filling this space with love, this beautiful energy of you, all of you coming together. This energy expands, and it is now reaching all the way around the globe. I see it like a yellow golden fire almost, just going all the way around the world, burning away all the darkness, only leaving the light. There is love that is spreading to all nations, all peoples, all animals, all plants, everything, all of nature, to Mother Earth herself. You are powerful beings. You bring in the light, you anchor it. That is your job. You bring in the light. You are love. I know somebody just got the answer to their question. Take a big breath. Take as much of this love energy back with you as you like. They're always there. You're not leaving anyone behind, so don't be afraid. As you take a big breath, you feel your feet on that sand. Feel your toes, wiggle your toes. Begin to come back into your physical body, bringing that beautiful higher self energy back with you. Be you. Don't bring back any fear. Let the fear just float away out there in that beautiful lake. You don't need it anymore. I'm taking this new cloak. It's almost as if you're raising your arms up in the sky and they're putting this beautiful gown over the top of your head. The new you. Remember who you are. Say, I am that I am that I am. And I am here to anchor the light. I am here to bring love. That is my job. What a beautiful job we have. And as you feel that silky fabric on you, I want you to bring your awareness back fully into the physical, feeling yourself come back into the body, fully and completely, safely wrapped up by Archangel Michael. When you're ready, you can open up those eyes of yours. And just take a big breath. Once again, you're like the baby, first breath. Imagine that, a baby, the first breath they take, how alive. That's you. First breath of a brand new baby today. You are cleaned up, all that negativity washed away, ready to start fresh. Beautiful. Take your time. No rush coming out. I hope you're feeling better, Carol. We have, speaking of Carol, today at 6 o'clock, we will be on. Forever after that, we will be on at 6 p.m. Likely just the two of us today. And that's okay, because we have beautiful things to talk about always. It is today, the message that was given to me is that we will be teaching those who come to watch now or in the future, today or in the future, teaching how to create a more beautiful, more cohesive connection to those that we have lost physically, those that are non-physical. So there will be a lot of conversation on how to create a better connection so that you don't need to go to others. That's the real purpose of the show. You can feel their energy, finding your own way of experiencing them. You have abilities that are sometimes unknown. So that's what we'll be talking about today at 6 p.m. on the Imagination of Becoming Network. Please have a beautiful, beautiful day. If I've missed saying hi to anyone, I think I've seen anyone here. Tammy, you snuck in on me. If I didn't, you may end up on another one of the pages and I haven't seen you, but I will check in later. I love you guys so much. Please enjoy this piece that they brought to us today. Enjoy it. Just be in it as much as you possibly can. Take good care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you later.